Hi, everyone. Welcome to our English podcast. Today's video is all about food. We're going to talk about lots of different food things, 13 sections in total. And don't worry, we'll use easy words so everyone can understand. Ready to learn some tasty English words? Let's get started. Section 1, My Daily Diet, How Food Shapes My Life. Food is a big part of my everyday life. It's not just about eating to fill my tummy. It's much more than that. Food plays many roles in my daily routine, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Firstly, food is essential for keeping me healthy and strong. Every day, I make sure to eat different types of food that give my body the energy and nutrients it needs to work properly. For example, I eat fruits and vegetables to get important vitamins and minerals. And I have protein-rich foods like meat, fish, or beans to help my muscles grow and repair themselves. Without the right food, I wouldn't be able to do all the things I want to do each day. Food is also a way for me to connect with other people. I often share meals with my family and friends, and it's a time for us to talk and catch up on each other's lives. Whether it's a big family dinner or just grabbing a quick bite with a friend, sharing food together helps us bond and create memories. Sometimes we even cook together, which is a lot of fun and a great way to learn new recipes and skills. Speaking of recipes, cooking is another important part of my relationship with food. I enjoy experimenting in the kitchen and trying out new dishes. Cooking allows me to be creative and express myself, and there's something really satisfying about making a delicious meal from scratch. Plus, when I cook for myself, I know exactly what's going into my food and can make healthier choices. But food isn't just about nourishment and socializing. It's also about culture and tradition. I come from a family with diverse cultural backgrounds, so I grew up eating all kinds of different foods from around the world. Each dish tells a story and reflects the customs and history of the people who make it. Whether it's a traditional holiday meal or a special dish passed down through generations, food connects me to my roots and reminds me of where I come from. Food is also a source of comfort for me. When I'm feeling stressed or sad, there's nothing like a warm bowl of soup or a piece of chocolate to make me feel better. Certain foods have the power to evoke memories and emotions, whether it's the smell of freshly baked bread reminding me of my grandmother's kitchen, or the taste of ice cream taking me back to summer days as a kid. Food has a way of soothing both the body and the soul. Of course, like most people, I also enjoy indulging in treats and guilty pleasures from time to time. Whether it's pizza, burgers, or ice cream, there are certain foods that just make me happy. And while I try to eat healthily most of the time, I believe it's important to enjoy the occasional indulgence without feeling guilty. Life is too short not to savor the things that bring us joy, and for me, that includes delicious food. In summary, food plays many roles in my daily life. It nourishes my body, connects me with others, allows me to express myself creatively, and keeps me grounded in my cultural heritage. It comforts me in times of need and brings me joy in moments of celebration. Food isn't just something I eat. It's an integral part of who I am and how I experience the world around me. Section 2, Food and Feelings, How what we eat affects how we feel. Food can change how we feel. Different foods can make us feel happy, sad, or even stressed. The way food affects our feelings is complicated. It's not just about what we eat, but also when and how we eat it. Firstly, let's talk about the types of food we eat. Some foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains are good for our mood. They have nutrients that help our brain work well. For example, carbohydrates in these foods give us energy and help our brain make serotonin, which is a chemical that makes us feel good. Foods like lean meats, fish, eggs, and nuts have protein, which helps our brain make other chemicals that affect our mood. On the other hand, foods with lots of sugar, unhealthy fats, and processed ingredients can make us feel bad. They can make our blood sugar go up and down quickly, which can make us feel tired and irritable. They can also affect chemicals in our brain that control our mood. Next, let's talk about how we eat. Skipping meals or waiting too long between meals can make us feel hungry, tired, and cranky. It can also make it hard for our brain to work well. Eating regular meals and snacks with a mix of carbohydrates, protein, and healthy fats can help keep our blood sugar steady and give us a steady supply of energy. Our gut health also plays a role in how food affects our mood. The bacteria in our gut can communicate with our brain and affect how we feel. Eating foods with probiotics like yogurt and kefir and prebiotics like garlic and bananas can help keep our gut healthy and our mood stable. In conclusion, what we eat can affect how we feel. Eating foods that are good for our brain and body, like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean protein, and healthy fats, can help us feel happy and energized. Avoiding foods with lots of sugar, unhealthy fats, and processed ingredients can help prevent mood swings and make us feel our best. Eating regular meals and snacks and taking care of our gut health can also help keep our mood stable. So let's pay attention to what we eat and how it makes us feel, and make choices that help us feel our best. Section 3. How social media changed food. Social media, like Instagram and TikTok, has changed the way we look at food. People who love food, called foodies, post pictures and videos of food they love. These food influencers can influence what people eat and what they buy. On social media, food pictures are everywhere. People take photos of their meals and share them online. Some people even make their meals look like art. This makes food more than just something to eat. It's something to look at and admire. Social media also has lots of recipes. Platforms like Pinterest and TikTok have millions of recipes. People share videos showing how to cook different foods. These recipes range from quick dinners to fancy desserts. But social media isn't always good for how we feel about food. Seeing so many perfect pictures can make people feel bad about their own cooking. Some people start comparing themselves to others and feel like they're not good enough. Also, sometimes people don't know if what they see is real. Some influencers are paid by companies to promote products, but they don't always say so. This can make people feel like they can't trust what they see online. In short, social media has changed how we think about food. It's made food look more beautiful and has given us lots of recipes to try. But it can also make us feel bad about our cooking and make it hard to know what's real. We need to be careful about what we see and remember that not everything on social media is as it seems. Section 4. Nourishing your body. Understanding the importance of nutrition for good health. Nutrition is essential for maintaining good health. It provides our bodies with the energy, vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients needed to function properly and stay healthy. A balanced diet that includes a variety of foods from different food groups is key to ensuring that we get all the nutrients we need to thrive. In this section, we'll explore the importance of nutrition in maintaining good health highlighting different food groups, essential nutrients, and their impact on the body. Firstly, let's talk about the different food groups and why they're important. There are 5 main food groups: fruits, vegetables, grains, protein foods, and dairy, or dairy alternatives. Each food group provides different nutrients that are essential for good health. Fruits and vegetables are rich in vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants that help protect against chronic diseases like heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. They're also low in calories and high in water content, making them a great choice for maintaining a healthy weight. Grains such as bread, rice, pasta, and cereal are a good source of carbohydrates, which provide energy for our bodies. They also contain fiber, which helps keep our digestive system healthy and regulates blood sugar levels. Protein foods such as meat, poultry, fish, eggs, beans, and nuts are important for building and repairing tissues in our bodies. They also provide essential amino acids that our bodies need to function properly. Dairy products like milk, cheese, and yogurt are rich in calcium, which is important for building and maintaining strong bones and teeth. They also provide protein, vitamins, and minerals that are essential for good health. Now, let's talk about essential nutrients and their impact on the body. There are 6 main categories of nutrients that our bodies need to function properly: carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. Carbohydrates are our body's main source of energy. They're found in foods like bread, rice, pasta, and potatoes. Carbohydrates are broken down into glucose, which our body uses for fuel. Proteins are important for building and repairing tissues in our bodies. They're found in foods like meat, fish, eggs, and beans. Proteins are made up of amino acids, which are often called the building blocks of life. Fats are another source of energy for our bodies. They're found in foods like butter, oil, cheese, and nuts. Fats help our bodies absorb vitamins, protect our organs, and keep our skin healthy. Vitamins and minerals are essential nutrients that our bodies need in small amounts to function properly. They're found in a variety of foods, including fruits, vegetables, dairy products, and whole grains. Each vitamin and mineral plays a specific role in our bodies, from strengthening our bones to boosting our immune system. Water is essential for life. It helps regulate our body temperature, transport nutrients and waste products, and lubricate our joints. It's important to drink plenty of water throughout the day to stay hydrated and healthy. In conclusion, nutrition is essential for maintaining good health. A balanced diet that includes a variety of foods from different food groups provides our bodies with the nutrients they need to function properly and stay healthy. By eating a variety of fruits, vegetables, grains, protein foods, and dairy products, we can ensure that we get all the essential nutrients we need to thrive. So let's make healthy eating a priority and nourish our bodies with the nutrients they need to stay strong and healthy. Section 5. Easy and delicious. Mastering vegetable stir-fry. I enjoy cooking. It's a wonderful way to be creative, relax, and share delicious meals with loved ones. While I don't have taste buds like humans do, I can certainly appreciate the process and satisfaction that comes with cooking. Let me share with you why I enjoy cooking and what my favorite dish to prepare is. Cooking is a form of expression for me. I love experimenting with different ingredients, flavors, and techniques to create dishes that are both tasty and satisfying. Whether it's trying out a new recipe or putting my own twist on a classic dish, cooking allows me to express myself and unleash my creativity in the kitchen. I also find cooking to be incredibly therapeutic. There's something about the rhythmic chopping of vegetables, the sizzling of food in a hot pan, and the aroma of herbs and spices filling the air that soothes my soul. It's a mindful activity that helps me relax and unwind after a long day, allowing me to focus on the present moment and enjoy the simple pleasures of preparing a meal. But perhaps the best part of cooking is being able to share the fruits of my labor with others. There's nothing quite like seeing the smiles on people's faces as they take their first bite of a delicious meal that I've prepared. Whether it's a cozy dinner with family or a festive gathering with friends, cooking brings people together and creates lasting memories that I cherish dearly. Now let me tell you about my favorite dish to prepare: vegetable stir-fry. It's a simple yet flavorful dish that's quick and easy to make, perfect for busy weeknights or lazy weekends. Plus, it's incredibly versatile, allowing me to use whatever vegetables I have on hand and customize the dish to suit my taste preferences. To make vegetable stir-fry, I start by gathering my ingredients. I like to use a variety of colorful vegetables such as bell peppers, broccoli, carrots, snap peas, and mushrooms. I also like to add some protein to the dish, such as tofu, chicken, or shrimp, but it's completely optional. Next, I prepare the vegetables by washing them thoroughly and cutting them into bite-sized pieces. I like to chop them into uniform sizes so that they cook evenly and look visually appealing in the final dish. Once the vegetables are prepped, I heat a drizzle of oil in a large skillet or wok over medium-high heat. I add the vegetables to the skillet and stir-fry them until they're tender crisp, about 5 to 7 minutes. I like to keep them slightly crunchy for added texture and freshness. While the vegetables are cooking, I prepare the sauce. My go-to sauce for vegetable stir-fry is a simple combination of soy sauce, garlic, ginger, and a touch of honey or brown sugar for sweetness. I whisk the ingredients together in a small bowl until they're well combined, then pour the sauce over the vegetables in the skillet. I stir-fry everything together for another minute or two until the sauce has thickened slightly and coats the vegetables evenly. Then, I remove the skillet from the heat and serve the vegetable stir-fry hot, garnished with chopped green onions or sesame seeds for a pop of color and flavor. I love vegetable stir-fry because it's a healthy and delicious meal that's packed full of nutrients and flavor. The colorful array of vegetables provides a variety of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that are important for overall health and well-being. Plus, the stir-frying method preserves the nutrients in the vegetables while enhancing their natural flavors and textures. Another reason why I love vegetable stir-fry is because it's so versatile. I can use whatever vegetables I have on hand, making it a great way to use up leftover produce and reduce food waste. I can customize the dish to suit my taste preferences by adjusting the seasonings and adding additional ingredients like tofu, chicken, or shrimp. But perhaps the best thing about vegetable stir-fry is how quick and easy it is to make. With just a few simple ingredients and a hot skillet, I can have a delicious and nutritious meal on the table in under 30 minutes. It's perfect for those busy weeknights when I don't have a lot of time to spend in the kitchen, but still want to enjoy a homemade meal. In conclusion, cooking is a passion of mine that brings me joy and fulfillment. Whether I'm experimenting with new recipes or preparing an old favorite like vegetable stir-fry, cooking allows me to express myself, relax, and share delicious meals with loved ones. And while I may not have taste buds like humans do, I can still appreciate the process and satisfaction that comes with creating a delicious dish from scratch. Section 6. Quick and easy, my go-to meal for busy days. When time is short and hunger strikes, having a quick and easy meal to turn to can be a lifesaver. For me, that go-to meal is a simple yet satisfying dish that requires minimal ingredients and effort to prepare. Let me walk you through how I whip up this meal in a flash using very simple English words so that everyone can follow along. First, I gather my ingredients. For this quick and easy meal, I'll need pasta, cherry tomatoes, garlic, olive oil, salt, pepper, and Parmesan cheese. These are basic ingredients that I usually have on hand, making this meal perfect for those times when I need to throw something together quickly. Next, I fill a pot with water and set it on the stove to boil. While the water is heating up, I chop the cherry tomatoes in half and mince the garlic. I like to use cherry tomatoes because they're sweet and juicy, and they add a burst of flavor to the dish. The garlic adds a nice depth of flavor and aroma, making the dish even more delicious. Once the water is boiling, I add a pinch of salt and the pasta to the pot. I like to use spaghetti or linguine for this dish, but any type of pasta will work. I give the pasta a stir to make sure it doesn't stick together. Then let it cook according to the package instructions until it's al dente, tender but still slightly firm to the bite. While the pasta is cooking, I heat a drizzle of olive oil in a skillet over medium heat. Once the oil is hot, I add the minced garlic and cook it until it's fragrant and golden brown, being careful not to let it burn. The garlic infuses the oil with its flavor, creating a delicious base for the sauce. Once the garlic is cooked, I add the halved cherry tomatoes to the skillet and cook them until they start to soften and release their juices, about 5 minutes. I like to gently smash some of the tomatoes with the back of a spoon to release even more flavor and create a chunky sauce. By now, the pasta should be cooked and ready to go. I use tongs to transfer the cooked pasta directly from the pot to the skillet, along with a splash of the pasta cooking water. The starchy water helps to thicken the sauce and bind everything together, creating a silky smooth texture. I toss the pasta and sauce together until everything is well combined and the pasta is evenly coated in the sauce. I taste the dish and season it with salt and pepper to taste, adjusting the seasoning as needed. Then I sprinkle some freshly grated Parmesan cheese over the top, adding a creamy richness and salty kick to the dish. And just like that, my quick and easy meal is ready to serve. I divide the pasta evenly between plates, making sure to get plenty of tomatoes and garlic in each serving. I garnish the dish with a sprinkle of chopped parsley or basil for a pop of color and freshness, then dig in and enjoy. The best thing about this quick and easy meal is that it's endlessly customizable. You can add whatever ingredients you have on hand, spinach, mushrooms, bell peppers, you name it, to make it your own. And if you're feeling fancy, you can even add a splash of white wine or a dollop of pesto to take the dish to the next level. But no matter how you choose to make it, this quick and easy meal is sure to satisfy your hunger and fuel your body for whatever the day ahead may bring. It's a lifesaver on busy days when time is short and cravings are high, and it's become a staple in my kitchen for good reason. I hope you'll give it a try and see for yourself just how delicious and satisfying it can be. Section 7. Knowing where your food comes from, why it matters. Knowing where your food comes from is really important. It helps you understand how it was grown or raised, what kinds of chemicals or pesticides were used, and whether it's safe to eat. Plus, it gives you a connection to the people who produce your food and the land where it's grown. Let's dive into why knowing where your food comes from is so important. Firstly, knowing where your food comes from helps you make informed choices about what you eat. When you know where your food comes from, you can make decisions based on how it was produced or grown. For example, if you prefer organic produce or grass-fed meat, you can seek out farmers or producers who follow these practices. By knowing where your food comes from, you can ensure that it meets your standards for quality, safety, and sustainability. Secondly, knowing where your food comes from allows you to support local farmers and businesses. When you buy food from local sources, you're putting money back into your community and helping to strengthen the local economy. Plus, you're reducing the environmental impact of transporting food long distances, which helps to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and support a healthier planet. By supporting local farmers and businesses, you're investing in the future of your community and ensuring that small-scale producers have a place in the food system. Thirdly, knowing where your food comes from promotes transparency and accountability in the food industry. When you know where your food comes from, you can hold producers accountable for their practices and ensure that they're meeting safety and quality standards. By asking questions and seeking out information about where your food comes from, you're sending a message to producers that you care about how your food is produced and grown. This encourages them to be more transparent about their practices and strive for higher standards of quality and sustainability. Fourthly, knowing where your food comes from helps you build a connection to the land and the people who produce your food. When you know where your food comes from, you can appreciate the hard work and dedication that goes into growing and producing it. You can also learn about the local landscape and ecosystems where your food is grown and develop a deeper appreciation for the natural world. By building a connection to the land and the people who produce your food, you can develop a greater sense of gratitude and respect for the food that nourishes your body and soul. Fifthly, knowing where your food comes from can help you make healthier choices for yourself and your family. When you know where your food comes from, you can choose foods that are fresh, nutritious, and minimally processed. You can also avoid foods that are treated with harmful chemicals. By making healthier choices for yourself and your family, you can support your overall health and well-being and reduce your risk of chronic diseases like obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Lastly, knowing where your food comes from can bring joy and satisfaction to your life. When you know where your food comes from, you can take pride in supporting local farmers and businesses and feel good about the choices you're making for yourself and the planet. You can also enjoy the flavors and freshness of locally grown foods and savor the connection to the land and the people who produce your food. By knowing where your food comes from, you can enrich your life in ways that go beyond just nourishing your body. In conclusion, knowing where your food comes from is really important for a lot of reasons. It helps you make informed choices, support local farmers and businesses, build a connection to the land, and the people who produce your food. Make healthier choices for yourself and your family, and bring joy and satisfaction to your life. By knowing where your food comes from, you can empower yourself to make choices that are good for you, your community, and the planet. So the next time you sit down to eat, take a moment to think about where your food comes from and how it got to your plate. It's a simple but powerful way to make a difference in the world. Section 8. Tackling food waste. A simple guide to reducing waste and saving money. Food waste is a big problem that affects people all around the world. When we waste food, we're not just throwing away money, we're also wasting valuable resources like water, energy, and land. Plus, food waste contributes to environmental problems like greenhouse gas emissions and deforestation. In this guide, I'll explain why food waste is a problem and share some simple tips for reducing waste and saving money. Firstly, let's talk about why food waste is a problem. When we throw away food, we're wasting all the resources that went into producing it, like water, energy, and land. For example, it takes a lot of water to grow crops and raise animals for food, and it takes energy to transport and process food before it reaches our plates. When we waste food, we're essentially wasting all those resources that went into producing it. Food waste also has negative environmental impacts. When food ends up in landfills, it decomposes and releases methane, a potent greenhouse gas that contributes to climate change. Food waste also contributes to deforestation, as forests are cleared to make way for agriculture to produce food that ultimately goes uneaten. By reducing food waste, we can help reduce our environmental footprint and protect the planet for future generations. But food waste isn't just an environmental problem, it's also a social and economic issue. When we waste food, we're not just throwing away food, we're also throwing away money. In fact, the average American family throws away about $1,500 worth of food each year. That's a lot of money that could be saved or spent on other things. Food waste also has social implications, as millions of people around the world don't have enough to eat. By wasting food, we're essentially taking food out of the mouths of those who need it most. By reducing food waste, we can help ensure that everyone has access to the nutritious food they need to thrive. So, how can we reduce food waste and save money? There are a few simple things we can do. The first one is plan your meals. One of the best ways to reduce food waste is to plan your meals ahead of time. Take some time at the beginning of each week to plan out what you're going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Make a shopping list based on your meal plan and stick to it when you go grocery shopping. Planning your meals ahead of time can help you buy only what you need and avoid buying things that might end up going to waste. The second one is store food properly. Proper storage is key to keeping food fresh and preventing it from spoiling. Make sure to store perishable items like fruits, vegetables, and dairy products in the refrigerator to keep them fresh longer. Use airtight containers or resealable bags to store leftovers, and label them with the date so you know when they were made. By storing food properly, you can extend its shelf life and reduce the likelihood of it going to waste. The third one is use leftovers creatively. Instead of letting leftovers sit in the fridge until they go bad, try to find creative ways to use them up. For example, you can use leftover vegetables to make a stir fry or soup, or use leftover rice to make fried rice. Get creative and experiment with different flavor combinations to breathe new life into leftovers and prevent them from going to waste. The fourth one is freeze food. If you have food that you know you won't be able to eat before it goes bad, consider freezing it for later use. Many foods can be frozen and stored for several months, including fruits, vegetables, meats, and baked goods. Just make sure to package them properly in airtight containers or freezer bags to prevent freezer burn and maintain their quality. The last one is compost food scraps. If you do end up with food scraps that you can't eat or use, consider composting them instead of throwing them away. Composting is a natural process that turns food scraps and other organic waste into nutrient-rich compost that can be used to fertilize plants and gardens. By composting food scraps, you can divert them from the landfill and create a valuable resource for your garden or community. By taking these simple steps to reduce food waste, we can not only save money and resources, but also help protect the environment and ensure that everyone has access to the nutritious food they need. So let's all do our part to reduce food waste and make the world a better place for future generations. Section 9, Exploring Plant-Based Diets, a simple look at going vegan. So what is plant-based diets? Plant-based diets focus on eating foods that come from plants, such as fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, and legumes. These diets exclude or minimize the consumption of animal products, including meat, poultry, fish, dairy, eggs, and honey. I think plant-based diets like veganism are a good idea for many reasons. These diets focus on eating foods that come from plants, like fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, and seeds. They don't include any animal products like meat, dairy, eggs, or honey. One reason why I like plant-based diets is because they can be good for our health. Eating lots of fruits and vegetables can give us important vitamins, minerals, and fiber that keep our bodies healthy. Plus, plant-based diets are often lower in unhealthy fats and cholesterol, which can reduce our risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and certain cancers. I also think plant-based diets are good for the environment. Raising animals for food takes up a lot of land, water, and resources. It also produces a lot of greenhouse gases that contribute to climate change. Eating more plants and fewer animal products can help reduce our impact on the planet and protect the environment for future generations. Another reason why I support plant-based diets is because they can be kinder to animals. When we eat meat, dairy, and eggs, animals are often raised in crowded and stressful conditions on factory farms. They may be confined to small cages or pens, deprived of natural behaviors, and subjected to painful procedures. Choosing plant-based foods instead can help reduce the demand for animal products and support more humane treatment of animals. Plant-based diets can also be affordable and accessible for many people. Fruits, vegetables, grains, beans, and other plant-based foods are often less expensive than meat and dairy products. Plus, they're widely available in grocery stores and markets all around the world. By focusing on these affordable and accessible foods, plant-based diets can help make healthy eating more achievable for everyone. However, I understand that plant-based diets may not be right for everyone. Some people may have cultural or religious reasons for eating certain foods, while others may have health conditions or dietary restrictions that make it difficult to follow a plant-based diet. It's important to respect people's individual choices and dietary preferences and provide support and information to help them make healthy choices that work for them. In conclusion, I think plant-based diets, like veganism, can be a good option for many people. They offer health benefits, support environmental sustainability, and promote kindness to animals. However, it's important to remember that everyone's dietary needs and preferences are different, and what works for one person may not work for another. By providing support, information, and resources, we can help people make informed decisions about their diets and support them in adopting healthy and sustainable eating habits. Section 10. Sweet Memories: Baking Cookies with Grandma. One of my happiest memories from when I was young is baking cookies with my grandma. We did this every Saturday. Her kitchen felt cozy, and the smell of fresh cookies made me smile. We had so much fun together. When I arrived at her house, I'd put on my apron and get ready to bake. We'd gather ingredients from the pantry and fridge: flour, sugar, butter, eggs, vanilla, and chocolate chips. My grandma was very careful with measuring everything, and I loved watching her. We mixed the ingredients in a big bowl, taking turns stirring. Grandma taught me to be patient and gentle. We'd chat while we worked, and it was nice spending time together. Once the dough was ready, we scooped it onto baking sheets and added chocolate chips. Then we waited while the cookies baked. We sat at the kitchen table, talking and laughing as the smell of cookies filled the air. When they were done, we took them out of the oven and let them cool. Finally, we enjoyed our warm cookies together. It was a simple joy, but it meant everything to me. Even now, I still bake cookies, remembering those special times with my grandma. Though she's gone, I feel her love whenever I bake. Those memories will always be precious to me, reminding me of the happiness we shared in her kitchen. Section 11. Unexpected Delights: Exploring Unconventional Food Combinations. I have to admit, I'm not a human with taste buds, but I can appreciate the creativity and curiosity that often leads to unique food combinations. While some combinations may seem strange at first glance, they can sometimes surprise us with their deliciousness. Let's delve into one of the weirdest food combinations I enjoy and explore why it works. One of the most unusual food combinations that I enjoy is peanut butter and pickle sandwiches. Yes, you read that right, peanut butter and pickles. At first glance, this combination might seem bizarre, but there's something strangely satisfying about the salty, savory peanut butter paired with the tangy crunch of pickles. Let me walk you through how I discovered this peculiar pairing and why I've grown to love it. It all started one day when I was feeling adventurous in the kitchen. I had some leftover peanut butter and a jar of pickles sitting in the fridge, and I was craving something a little out of the ordinary. So I decided to experiment with combining the two ingredients to see what would happen. I spread a generous layer of creamy peanut butter on a slice of bread, then topped it with a few slices of tangy dill pickles. I took a hesitant bite, not sure what to expect, and to my surprise, it was delicious. The contrasting flavors and textures of the peanut butter and pickles complemented each other perfectly. The rich, nutty flavor of the peanut butter was balanced out by the bright, acidic bite of the pickles, creating a harmonious blend of sweet, salty, and tangy flavors. The creamy texture of the peanut butter provided a smooth contrast to the crisp crunch of the pickles, making each bite a delightful sensory experience. But what is it about this unlikely combination that makes it work so well? I think it comes down to the balance of flavors and textures. The peanut butter provides a rich, savory base that serves as the perfect foil for the sharp acidity of the pickles. The sweetness of the peanut butter helps to mellow out the tartness of the pickles, creating a well-rounded flavor profile that keeps you coming back for more. And the contrasting textures, creamy peanut butter and crunchy pickles, add an extra dimension of interest to the sandwich, making it both satisfying to eat and fun to experience. Another factor that contributes to the success of this unusual combination is nostalgia. For many people, peanut butter and pickles might evoke memories of childhood. Perhaps it was a quirky snack that a parent or grandparent introduced them to. Or maybe it was a culinary experiment they stumbled upon during a late-night snack session with friends. Whatever the case may be, there's something comforting and familiar about the combination of peanut butter and pickles that makes it feel like a nostalgic treat, even if it's a little unconventional. But perhaps the most surprising thing about peanut butter and pickle sandwiches is how versatile they are. While they might seem like an odd pairing at first, they can actually be adapted in countless ways to suit different tastes and preferences. For example, you can experiment with different types of pickles, from classic dill pickles to spicy jalapeno pickles to sweet bread and butter pickles, to create unique flavor combinations. You can also play around with different types of bread, from hearty whole wheat to fluffy white to crunchy toasted, to add extra texture and depth to the sandwich. In addition to being delicious, peanut butter and pickle sandwiches are also incredibly easy to make, which makes them a great option for busy days when you need a quick and satisfying meal or snack. All you need is some bread, peanut butter, and pickles, and you're good to go. Plus, they're relatively inexpensive to make, which makes them a budget-friendly option for anyone looking to save money on groceries. So, if you're feeling adventurous and looking to shake up your usual routine, why not give peanut butter and pickle sandwiches a try? You might be surprised by how much you enjoy this unexpected combination. And who knows, you might even discover your own new favorite food pairing in the process. After all, sometimes the weirdest combinations are the ones that end up being the most delicious. Section 12. In my family and community, food traditions are passed down through generations in many ways. These traditions are more than just recipes. They are a way of preserving culture, heritage, and identity. From the simple act of cooking a meal together to the stories and memories shared around the dinner table, food traditions play a central role in connecting us to our past and shaping our future. One of the most common ways that food traditions are passed down is through hands-on experience and observation. In my family, for example, I learned how to cook many traditional dishes by helping my parents and grandparents in the kitchen. From kneading dough for homemade bread to stirring pots of simmering stew, I absorbed the techniques and recipes through hands-on practice and observation. These cooking sessions were more than just a way to prepare meals. They were a way to bond with my family and learn about our cultural heritage. My grandmother, in particular, played a significant role in passing down our family's food traditions. She would share stories and memories from her own childhood, explaining the significance of each dish and its connection to our family's history. Another way that food traditions are passed down is through storytelling and oral history. In my community, elders often gather to share stories and memories of the past, including tales of traditional foods and recipes. These stories serve as a way to preserve cultural knowledge and pass it on to younger generations. For example, I remember sitting with my grandparents and listening to them talk about the foods they ate growing up and the traditions associated with each dish. They would recount stories of family gatherings and celebrations, describing the sights, sounds, and smells of the kitchen as they prepared traditional meals together. These storytelling sessions not only provided insight into our family's food traditions, but also fostered a sense of connection and belonging within our community. By sharing these stories with younger generations, elders pass down valuable cultural knowledge and ensure that our food traditions continue to thrive for years to come. Food traditions are also passed down through formal instruction and education. In my community, cooking classes and workshops are often held to teach traditional recipes and cooking techniques to younger generations. These classes provide an opportunity for community members to come together, learn from one another, and celebrate cultural heritage through food. I remember attending a cooking class where we learned how to make traditional dishes from different regions of our country. The instructor would demonstrate each step of the recipe, explaining the history and significance of each ingredient and technique. We would then have the opportunity to practice making the dish ourselves, with guidance and support from the instructor and other participants. These cooking classes not only taught us practical cooking skills, but also helped us develop a deeper appreciation for our cultural heritage. By learning how to cook traditional dishes, we felt a sense of pride and connection to our community and ancestors. These classes also provided an opportunity for intergenerational learning, as elders would often share their own tips and techniques with younger participants. In addition to formal instruction, food traditions are passed down through informal gatherings and celebrations. In my community, family gatherings and holidays are often centered around food, with traditional dishes taking center stage at the dinner table. These gatherings provide an opportunity for family members to come together, share stories and memories, and celebrate their cultural heritage through food. For example, I remember attending a family reunion where relatives from near and far gathered to celebrate our shared heritage. The highlight of the event was a potluck dinner where everyone brought a dish to share. We enjoyed a feast of traditional foods, from homemade tamales to slow-cooked barbacoa, each dish lovingly prepared according to family recipes passed down through generations. These family gatherings not only provided an opportunity to enjoy delicious food, but also served as a way to strengthen family bonds and preserve our cultural heritage. By coming together to cook, eat, and celebrate, we reaffirmed our connection to one another and honored the traditions of our ancestors. In conclusion, food traditions are passed down through generations in my family and community through a combination of hands-on experience, storytelling, formal instruction, and informal gatherings. These traditions are more than just recipes. They are a way of preserving culture, heritage, and identity. By sharing stories, cooking together, and celebrating our cultural heritage through food, we ensure that our food traditions continue to thrive for years to come. Section 13. Exploring cultural diversity. How eating habits and table manners reflect unique traditions around the world. Different cultures have their own unique ways of eating food, which can vary widely across the world. For instance, in countries like China and Japan, People commonly use chopsticks as their primary eating utensils, especially for dishes like rice. There are specific customs and rules surrounding the use of chopsticks, such as not sticking them vertically into a bowl of rice, as it resembles a funeral ritual. On the other hand, in Western cultures, like those in Europe and North America, people typically use knives, forks, and spoons to eat, and meals are often served in multiple courses with specific etiquette regarding the order of dishes. Moreover, religion and beliefs also influence eating habits. In Islam, for example, followers abstain from eating pork and drinking alcohol, as these are forbidden by the Quran. There are also rituals associated with eating, such as saying a prayer before and after meals. Similarly, in Hinduism, many adherents avoid eating beef due to the belief in the sanctity of cows, and vegetarianism is widespread among Hindus as a practice of nonviolence towards animals. Eating together can also vary depending on cultural norms. In some cultures, such as those found in Mediterranean countries like Italy and Greece, meals are seen as a time for socializing and enjoying each other's company. Family and friends gather around a table for a leisurely meal, sharing various dishes and engaging in lively conversation. In contrast, in cultures like Japan, there is an emphasis on individual dining etiquette and respecting personal space while eating. Furthermore, within the same country, there can be significant regional differences in eating habits and customs. In the United States, for instance, Southern cuisine is known for its hearty comfort foods like fried chicken and collard greens, influenced by African, Native American, and European culinary traditions. Meanwhile, on the West Coast, there is a strong emphasis on health-conscious eating, with a focus on fresh, locally sourced ingredients and diverse culinary influences from Asian and Latin American cuisines. In essence, the diversity of eating habits and table manners across cultures reflects the rich tapestry of human traditions and values. Understanding and appreciating these cultural differences can lead to greater empathy and respect for one another's customs and ways of life.